Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of FTB Infinity Evolved Skyblock with Arturio Emerys. Okay, the last two episodes we did a recap of things that I have done over the last week, and I still have more things that I could show, but we're going to get back to Botania for now. So while we were off camera a little bit, I did figure out how to make the mystical flowers, and that was with Floral Fertilizer. And the way you make the Floral Fertilizer is with any of these floral white powder dyes that you get from grinding up the mystical flower petals in a mortar and pestle. You make floral fertilizer. So you get some bone meal and you get 4 of these floral powders in any color, and that makes floral fertilizer. If you use the floral fertilizer on grass, it creates the mystical flowers that you can then break for use in what I'm going to show you next. So this is what I was trying to do earlier. Okay, I do need to cut a little bit more dirt, so let me grab that real quick. So 2 more, that'll work perfectly. And I may possibly be lagging a little bit right now. We'll just have to power through it. Okay, some pasture seeds. And there is some mana left in here from earlier. And there we go. So let's come back over here. And you know what? I think I need more glowstone. I don't think I have enough glowstone for what I'm going to do. It doesn't matter what color flowers you use. You just need mystical flowers. And I think I need 4 more glowstone. All right. Now we'll see if I can do this from memory. Yep, that gives, you take any mystical flower and combine it with 2 glowstone dust, and that gives you the glimmering version of that flower. Okay? And then you combine them with dirt and pasture seeds, and you get the floating version of that flower. Okay, and then the floating version of these flowers you can combine with any other flower, and you get the floating version of that flower. So now I've got floating pure daisies. And the reason that's important is because these do not have to be on grass or dirt. I can do that. And the reason I want to do it that way is if I grab some stone, yeah, definitely lagging a little bit. Sorry about that, folks. And did I mess that up? Nope, that's okay. Okay, almost done. This is a little slow. Okay, so that is my preferred method for doing making living rock and living wood, is this here. So we'll just let that process. And we need to, you know what, I don't have a Lexica Botania. Maybe I ought to make one. Botania. Where did those stencils go? All right, so this should give us a book. Just like that, book. Awesome. And then I need 2 gold nuggets, and I think any sapling will work. So let's see. We shall find out in a second. Lexica Botania. Living rock. So now, there's a little bit of mana left in there. Let me get all of this. And then we'll look at making some new mana generating flowers. It's possible I may have to make another set of day blooms and nightshade, because I'm not to runes yet. Nope. Retro. Dang it. All right, well, if we're going to have to do that, there we go. That'll work. Let me put this living rock away. All right, the first thing I want to do is I want to see if I can make mana steel. I believe I can make mana steel just by throwing iron into... Yep, I can. That's good. That's a good sign. Awesome. Mana steel. And the next thing I want to try... Wow, I'm already almost out of living wood. Is I'm trying to... There was something that I made. Aha! Floral obedience stick. Yeah. Make you one of those as soon as possible, and I'll explain why. I'm going to break for a minute, and I'm going to make more flowers of the day blooms and the night lilies. I'm going to make 16 of each. So we'll cut the video here, and I'll come back in a bit when I've finished making those. Okay, and we're back. So I've got more floral flowers, or mana generating flowers. Another 16 of each day blooms and night blooms. So now if we look at these with the Wand of the Forest, you'll see, actually this, you know what, this may have already taken care of it. We're putting flowers down in location where flowers already existed, and we had tied those previous ones to the mana spreader that's here. And so it's possible that when you put flowers in that same spot, that same XYZ coordinates, that it remembers even after the original flowers withered and you replaced them with new ones. Yeah, it looks like all of these are covered. The nightshade aren't going to have any in it because it's not nighttime. But let me show you what this floral obedience stick is for. Take a mana spreader and you shift right click the mana spreader with the floral obedience stick. And what it does is it tags every mana generating flower in range to that mana spreader. So rather than having to click each individual one, it basically, everything that it can reach, it grabs and ties it to the one that you shift right clicked on. And then anytime that this one has mana in it, once it hits up a certain threshold, it sends out a pulse down to the mana pool. So if we look at it, there's actually, I don't know, what is like a 1/16 of a mana pool worth of mana here, which is not too bad. That's not insignificant. So that's not a bad start. Long range, every time I need to make some mana, I don't have 10 minutes to go make 16 day blooms and nightshade. It'd be really nice to have something that would last a little longer. And what I really like is the Endo Flame. Now the problem is the Endo Flame is going to require, in this particular version, it requires something called mana powder, which is gunpowder thrown into that. I actually can do that. I've got gunpowder, thanks to the handy dandy mob spawner. And let me just make this day real quick. There we go. And I will grab a stack of gunpowder from right there. And let's see how much this will do for what's in there. That did almost all of a stack. And there's mana left in there. So I'm thinking, yep. That didn't take much at all. I mean, it's still relatively full. So before we call this an episode, we are going to make 16 Endo Flames. Let's see what the recipe was. We need brown, red, and light gray. So we need brown, and again, I'm going to make 16. And we need red, and we need light gray. And then we need some seeds. And where did that bucket go? And again, I'll make the first one, and then I'll fast forward through making the other 16. Okay. Okay, there we go. For a second, I was worried that it hadn't registered the recipe properly. I'm trying to get positioned just where I want to be here. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so there we go. That's one Endo Flame. And there we go. 16 Endo Flames. Now what Endo Flames do is these are not passive generation flowers. So these will not decay. And also, they don't require, they don't have to be spread out. They can be close. Now, you can make the normal ground flower versions, like I'm doing right here, or you can make the floating versions, which I will do at some point. Was that really all 16 of them? That did not seem like 16 of them, but sure looks like it. So now we take our handy dandy floral obedience stick, and whammo, it grabbed all those too. So now what you do is, this is where it starts to get a little expensive, is the Endo Flames take anything that can burn, any type of wood or coal byproduct, and it converts those items into mana. Oh, I can't make a coal block, a charcoal block. Oh, that's weird. Why can't I make a charcoal block? Can I make a coal block? block of coal. Yep, that'll work. Sugar charcoal block. How do you make that? You smelt sugar, and it gives you sugar charcoal. Well, that's interesting. Let's look at charcoal. There's pulverized charcoal, charcoal dust, sugar charcoal block, charcoal, and there is no charcoal block, which is unfortunate, but I can make work. Because charcoal blocks will produce a tremendous amount of mana. So give that a second. All of those Endo Flames, well, it didn't reach quite all of them. Most of those Endo Flames okay. Yeah, so it took 16 of them. So now this should fill relatively quickly. Like, see how that's nearly, the mana spreader is basically full. So it's maxed out. And it is pumping out mana as fast as it can to this mana pool. So that's the difference between the day blooms and the nightshades and the Endo Flames, is that you're going to get an awful lot more mana from any of the active mana generation flowers. And so that's the key, is the other flowers, the active generation flowers, you have to feed them something. And it varies from flower to flower. The Endo Flames, you have to feed them something that'll burn. I think there's something called a Gormalis, which is a flower that takes food items and converts those into mana. And apparently those work pretty well. I've never messed around with those before because, you know, I haven't been playing Botania when I had the option of some of the Pam's Harvestcraft recipes. But apparently, like the Pam's Harvestcraft stuff, like that Beef Wellington, the Gormalis will make a tremendous amount of mana from those too. I'm not sure if it's better than the Endo Flames and a block of coal, or if it's just as good as. Let's see if I can figure out how to spell it. That looks like it right there, Gormalis, generating flower. Oh, okay, this is a more expensive one. This is going to take some runes and then some petals, but that's still not that bad, although it does take Rune of Summer and Rune of Fire. That's weird. So this may be a longer range goal because I'm not set up to make runes yet. But anyway, I think that we're going to call it an episode right there. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, it would be great if you could leave a like on the video. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. That helps me a lot. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them on the YouTube comments area, and I will answer them when I can. Thank you for watching. This is Arturio Emerys signing out.